Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Time for an everything I can possibly think of update. I'm going to show you my new shelving system I'm working on here in the basement. As you can see, I'm blacking out the windows, but the shelves that were in here were basically wrong. Just for common knowledge, when you're putting shelving up against a wall, you don't need legs in the back. It's a waste of money and it's a waste of time. All you have to do is anchor your cleats on the wall, tap cons into concrete, and these will hold the shelves with hundreds and hundreds of pounds of weight. So I've basically redone the shelving on this side. I'm doing this wall, and I'm going to do this wall, move the metal shelves over to here, and run more shelving down through here, and probably something here in the middle. So I'm going to drastically increase my ability to store stuff in a easily attainable method to inventory and to get to. Okay, now let's head out and see this garden and the rabbits. I'll go ahead and tell you guys right now ahead of time, there's some changes happening in the garden. Good, bad, I don't know. Here is the Butter Crunch leaf lettuce that I'm doing hydroponically for the rabbits. They're coming along nicely. I'm fixing to bring them out of the porch and put them into the direct sunlight before too long. Okay, the garden. Here's some more stuff I just planted for the rabbits. This is Swiss chard. This is spinach and kale. The onions seem to be doing great. The bell peppers plant came back to life. It's producing pretty good. The okra, as you can see, absolutely loves this rabbit manure. This is what was left over from a celery that I fed the rabbits for the last 2 weeks, and instead of just throwing the root ball away, I just shoved it in here and watered it about 5, maybe 6 days ago, and look what's already happened. So the celery's coming back. The squash, the heat's really kicking its butt. I'm watering the crap out of it, but the heat's really getting to it. The banana peppers finally started producing, and there's quite a bit of banana peppers on here. The cayenne peppers going nuts. They've never slowed down. There's peppers everywhere. Let's see, the potatoes. Here are the reds that I planted, I don't know, a week or so ago. And I'd say about half of them are up. They're really, really slow. But if you remember from that video, those seed potatoes were old, and they were pretty beat up. I'm surprised any of them actually sprouted. This is the sweet potatoes. I only planted 2 slips, and they are having a blast. I have doubled, if not, yeah, I pretty much increased the water they're getting by a factor of maybe 3 from the last batch of potatoes. I'm pretty much sure the reason that they didn't grow very well was because they weren't getting enough water, so that's not going to be the problem this time. Now for the main garden issue. Look at these pathetic looking hydroponic tomatoes. This one here hasn't produced anything, nothing. It's just now getting a couple of blooms, and they don't even look like they're going to do anything. This plant, nothing. This plant, look at it. It just went south within a matter of a couple days. And it's not that they're not getting nutrients. The nutrients have been filled up. Every couple of weeks they get a new batch. For some reason, I don't know if it was a change in temperature or the addition of water getting down through the holes and diluting the solution or what, but they all just said I'm done and they quit. Now this one here did produce quite a bit of tomatoes. I do have some inside, but they're all the size of you know, grapes. They're all about this size. So they made tomatoes. They were just really, really small. One thing I did notice on these, all the hydroponic tomatoes, they're getting these air roots growing up the stem, and they're not even near the water. So that's telling me that maybe these guys are starving for oxygen. That's why I took the plug out. So I don't know what the deal is with the hydroponics. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not knocking hydroponics whatsoever. The point of this experiment was to decide which way I was going to grow tomatoes. And I'll tell you how I'm going to grow tomatoes. I'm going to grow tomatoes like this, in the dirt, with the hydroponic nutrients sprinkled on top and watered in. Look at this tomato plant. I mean, these are beast tomatoes. They're putting 4 and 5 and 6 tomatoes per set. I mean, And I picked, probably got about 15 tomatoes inside from these 3 plants here. I mean, just look at the size of that Cherokee Purple. I mean, I got pretty big hands. I mean, that's a big tomato. But this is a beast. Look at this big Zac. I bet you that thing's every bit the size of a softball, if not bigger. And it's just going strong. And there's his little brother coming on. So yeah, the big Zac, it's the only 2 of them have set fruit. So we'll see what happens. But I'm watering the crap out of them. I'm fertilizing them the way they should be with the hydroponic nutrients. I'm just sprinkling. I'm sprinkling in a dose equivalent to a gallon, probably a gallon and a half to 2 gallons if it was going in just water. And what I'm doing is I'm just sprinkling it on top of the soil, and I'm watering it in, and I'm letting the soil absorb those nutrients. So hopefully they're giving out the energy to the plant through time, just like the hydroponics would through the water. But as this experiment, I've made up my mind. I will not be growing tomatoes hydroponically anymore unless there's another cool experiment I want to try, or unless I decide to build a greenhouse or a hoop house or something where I can control the environment a little bit more. This is the way I'm going to grow tomatoes from now on, simply because I have spent easily 3 times, maybe 5 times as much time and effort with these hydroponic tomatoes than I have had to spend with these guys. I put them in the dirt, I water them, and they do their own thing. I just sprinkle a little bit of fertilizer. They're the nutrients from the hydroponics here for the last month and a half, and they're doing phenomenal. So no more hydroponic tomatoes. The lettuce and stuff I'll still do hydroponically, but to tomatoes, it just doesn't make any sense to put all the effort into it, and then they come outside one morning and they all look like, I mean, they just got poisoned or something. And it's not like there's a disease. This one is sitting right beside this one, and it's gorgeous. So yeah, hydroponic tomatoes for me, done, unless there's a really cool experiment to do. The cantaloupe and watermelon are doing great. I mean, this thing's already got flowers on it. I don't see any fruit yet, but they're loving, absolutely loving the rabbit manure. Okay, let's go take a look at the bunnies. This whole rabbitry setup here thing is fixing to change here in the near future. I'm going to expand it. I've got the other cage built there, and I've got the wire to build yet another one, and I'm going to need another one after that. I was going to go double-decker and build a pole barn and all that good high-speed stuff over it, but I think I'm going to hold off and wait for the lumber to come down in prices a little bit more. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of cinder blocks there in the back of the yard. So I'm just going to come and I'm going to go 2 high on cinder blocks and on both ends and in the middle, and just put them up on cinder blocks. Both of these rows probably side by side for now until the lumber gets to where I like it and I feel like, you know, spending that few $100s on it. But for the time being, they're doing just fine the way it is. I mean, they love this setup. I mean, it's almost 90 degrees outside, but here in the shade, it's nice and cool. I put a little shower curtain insert over the mama and the baby rabbits, just in case some water got in. I wanted to give them an extra bit of security after that huge storm we had a couple weeks ago. So here's mama and babies. They are huge, happy, and absolutely friendly as they can possibly be. I mean, they're just massive. There's Za in the back, and they're doing great. I mean, they'll be ready for hopefully I can find them all new homes here in the next few weeks. I know at least 2 of them are going to to native. 2 of these are going to native, and the big white buck's going to native next month. And that will leave me with, and I'm keeping at least 3, maybe all the rest for to fill up my other cage and to just put them in the breeding program. I really probably won't keep more than maybe 3 or 4 of hers, 1 buck and the rest does, just so I can keep some of that color and keep this good genetics into the gene pool, because she's an awesome mom. There's Tribe, Native's buck. There's the 2 creams. They're getting huge. Remember how small they were when I got them? And there's Tribe. He's just doing his thing. But yeah, so that is it for the update. Everything's going good. I got to work on the shelves. I've got to finish setting up this rabbitry system. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to not have to remove any trees to make this thing work. So it's going to be maybe a weird shaped, I don't know, I can probably get a good 20 by 20 in this area here. And that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Just going 20 by 20, little pole barn, maybe a little A-frame roof. And I'm going to put a water catchment system on it to where the rainwater can water the rabbits for me, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's just something I'm going to do a little bit at a time. But as far as I've got the cages, I've definitely got to get them set up on the blocks and ready to go here within the next 2 to 3 weeks at the latest. I'd say 2 weeks at the latest, because Za's going to be giving birth in another 2 weeks. So I'm going to wean these babies here next week. I give Za a week break, and then she'll be ready for her next batch, and then I'll have to have some room to put all these babies. So stay tuned for more updates. And I want to thank everybody for all the support you've given me with this channel. All the support you guys gave me with the Prepper Summit, which is going awesome, by the way. And look forward to October. I've already got guests scheduled out into October the 2nd. October the 2nd, it will be the Angry Prepper along with Gray Man Prepping. So that should be a really, really good one. And thanks for support on the canning live stream, which is awesome. And thank you for supporting me coming back with the Sunday night prep rally. It went really, really, really well last night. And it looks like next Sunday, immediately following the prep rally, I will have my first members only live stream. Everybody's voting on that right now on the community tab. And so far, Sunday after prep rally is well in the lead for the night to do the members only live streams. So stay tuned for that as well. And you guys please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.